how Trundle Pillar, it's a pretty decent ability, but that does mean that the Viego's open for a first pick. WE have shown time and time again, you leave that open, they're going to take it.
Yeah, Viego, very, very powerful by all means here, but certainly you can deal with it. And now leaving open the Irelia, this is the plan for Rare Adam. Ooh. I love it. So much agency to put in the top side of your map. Fighting ability too, between the Diana and the Leona, and Irelia, that's the one. Close, but not quite Ender.
The sun and you said Diana, the sun and the moon. You were reading the lore before this. I understand.
That's
it's all
true.
good.
Oh, man. But regardless, like, as far as it comes down to, like, fighting in the river, team fighting as well, Irelia and Diana going to be very, very impactful. But with Syndra left open, no surprise to see Shanks grab that for himself. And that Sky of the Week can be very effective for keeping a Diana or an Irelia off you. Or a Leona too, yeah, if that ends up getting locked in.
If they end up going with it, of course. You might have just been too good at your analysis, being able to predict into the future what Hong wants to go for. Don't worry, guy. I got you. And we are going to see the JAyce as an answer. I do think this is the smartest move here from Team WE because you're going into the second phase. You need to pick up your top laner. Otherwise, you're just going to have the better matchups banned against you. Picking up the JAyce, it feels like it can be go a bit 50-50. It does feel like whoever gets the agency in that lane will start to snowball it. So curious to see how Breathe and Cube will do in this matchup.
And honestly, this could be a game if Elk wanted to look for something like a Ziggs. That could work, right? You're already showing double AD in both top and jungle. Syndra as your only AP threat can be a little bit weak because especially the later you get into the game, a lot of her damage is going to end up being single target in terms of her ultimate. Of course, her E can absolutely shred through teams if she's able to get a lot of orbs on the ground, really get that going. But could be an option here if Elk wants to go that route. Regardless, Rare Adam are going back to that Varus that we saw in game 1. Again, when you see heavy dive champions like an Irelia, like a Diana, that can get far into the backline, you want something like a Varus that can follow up on damage, have that through damage. So he's not just hitting, the big beefy tanks in the front line. No, he's going to have the lethality, those arrows, to try and follow up and help burst out the backliners of Team WE.
Man, I'm looking already at Team WE. It's very all-in-y. You're looking at the Viego and the JAyce to jump in on top of people using the Scatter of the Week. Again, very short range. So I like what the side of RA are doing. They're getting rid of those initiations, the Ashe, the Callista, things that can act as facilitators for the rest of the team. And it seems for WE, they're just going to ban away the Wukong. They actually feel like that could have been a flex to Irelia mids. They're not allowing that little soft counter at the top side.
Yeah, and I think FoFo for Irelia is something I would personally like to see. Could be a strong one for it. Yeah, do it. Do it. I'm a god. I'm a god.
Yes! Yes! Ender! You just looked at the script. You were too many steps ahead of the script, my friend. You can't be doing that. We'll pass it off. Nobody noticed it. Leona locked and loaded. You've, of course, got the sun and the moon now on the side of RA. Now, WE, you got to figure out what you want to go for it.
I promise I'm not cheating.
Hacks.
This is
hacks.
legit.
This is legit. The prediction is you're too strong. That's why we can only have you on one weekend at a time. We have to calm you down before you get too powerful. But for the Leona Varus locked in, very heavy engage, good heavy damage earlier on in the game. So very, very strong in those 2v2 skirmishes, or even a 3v2 skirmish as well if they can get the Diana down as well. And for Team WE, they're looking to see what they want to lock in here. Ezreal's been locked, Elk obviously getting MVP in the last game, and now they're looking to see if they can get something that can maybe disengage. The Braum is good. I actually personally wouldn't mind the Alistair. I think it does a lot of what they want to do and a little bit more on the engage side. But no, they're going to go with the Braum.
They're going to go with Braum. Yeah, it feels like, so right now, basically what Team WE decided was because they're rocking so many ranged options, especially like a JAyce on the top side, Ezreal and Syndra, very high effective ranges there as well. They're saying we don't actually need the immediate threat of CC. Instead, we need a Braum. We need something that can peel a little bit better and make it really frustrating for an Irelia or a Diana to play the game. So the whole idea from Team WE is kite back, use your range to layer down as much poke into Rare Adam before they hard engage, and Rare Adam are going to feel the pressure to make those fights start instantly. If they dance around a dragon for too long, it is not going to be fun at all for them because they're running one range champion into 3 on the side of WE.
Yeah, absolutely, and something we completely forgot about because of the way the drafts have gone, the way the players have picked. Lee Sin left all the way down until the very, very last pick. That's going to be picked up here. We're going to wait and see if Cube or FoFo want to swap that one around. Can be interchangeable, but for WE, a lot of range, a lot of ways just keeping RA on the arm's length. But like you mentioned, though, if RA can get on top of you, it's all them.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you look in like
The 3-0s in the LPL playoffs and booked themselves a fight against EDG.
And on to the Rift we go. Once again, looks like iBoy going for the Cull, a tier start for Elk this time around. So expecting to be a little bit quieter on that bottom side of the map. But this is a very different look for Rare Adam. I feel like when we were sort of like looking before the series, looking at the tendencies of this team, so often they're building up advantages in the laning phase, not through kills, but through CS leads. But when you're looking at Irelia, Syndra in solo lane, Syndra especially after the recent buffs that made her abilities cost basically no mana inside the laning phase, very frustrating to try and push out of the lane. So Rare Adam, there's a much more emphasis put on Leyan trying to find angles. The Diana, maybe not the greatest ganker in the early stages, especially not before level 6, but when it comes to damage inside of skirmishes, can definitely be on the higher end of things for Rare Adam to try and look for fights.
Yeah, that's going to be the first time this split we are going to see FoFo onto the Irelia. Hasn't played it so far in the regular split. I'm going to triple check to see when was the last time he actually played it, as he goes straight in on top of Shanks. This is exactly, yeah, you want to be seeing it. Get the Conqueror stacks going. You know you've got yourself a much bigger advantage going up against this Syndra at level 1.
And importantly, it's actually going to be a Doran's ring start for Shanks. Doesn't get that extra damage ticking out from those auto attacks, but the way melee versus range matchups always work is when the melee gets on you, you do more damage. That's just how the champions function, but you have to also run away. Unless you can go for the all-in. A Cube if he jumps on Breathe, or FoFo if he jumps on Shanks, they have to walk back towards their tower, and those champions are going to get 3 auto attacks on you, or even more, just because they're ranged. That's always how that is going to play out. And something that you have to definitely keep in mind, but that's why Irelia and Lee Sin both have really good sustain built in their kits. You know, FoFo, whenever he's pressing Q, is going to be getting HP back. Cube can just smash that W key, get all the life steal off of that one as well, and heal up off of the minions, on top of Doran's ring starts in both those solo lanes, trying to weather the storm of the early lane.
Yeah, well, actually, again, we mentioned it in Game 2, but in Game 3, we are seeing, again, AD carries picking themselves up. Very passive early game, well, will be perceived as passive early game items, the Cole for iBoy and the Tier for Elk. So just both looking to stack, both looking to get themselves a little bit extra power earlier on in the game. This is not really going to be much of a difference here for RA. I feel like in the early game, it's all going to be down on Leyan, and Leyan, excuse me, is Leyan going to be the one who really is going to have to try and make a difference in these solo lanes.
Yeah, again, though, for Rare Adam, probably not going to be too much of a focus until the ultimates start to come through, especially like if you're trying to gank something like the top lane, and Breathe has very good vision control right now. Warden, Tri-Brush, Beishang, going to be securing the Scuttle Crab for the team, but Leyan looking towards that mid lane. Could be a 2v2 very quickly here, Penguin, or a 3v2 as Hong's roamed up as well.
I was going to say, this is a very early roam as we can start to see them moving in. They know exactly what's going on. There's the Flawless Duet, not going to land. So difficult to get on top of this. Not a lot of mana here onto FoFo, but he's going to continue on. They know the rest of RA are pushing forward. That's just going to be Shanks burned out of the lane just a little bit, and the priority given to RA.
Man, FoFo going to be kicking himself for not landing the Flawless Duet there. Wouldn't have gotten the kill on Shanks, but should have forced a flash out of the Syndra at the very least. Still, though, because Syndra's no mana, and Hong was able to zone Shanks so far away, Shanks... Shanks. Shanks.
I was gonna say, is he French now? It's just like we're on the
I was saying Hong,
gaming
right? So,
now.
It's still in my head, but Shanks actually doesn't end up losing anything because it's a cannon wave, and he was still able to get back towards mid. I thought if he had based and gone for a TP, he would have ended up losing minions, but he did that long loop around. But Leyan, he doesn't want to stop yet. Already up in the top lane. Yeah,
already there. But with that base gate, you're going to be able to get yourself accelerated back. Breed does not have mana, but he's going to be able to get himself out. And I like this from Leyan. This is Leyan, excuse me. It's going to be a much stronger start to this game where he's actively trying to affect his lanes, trying to make sure Beishang doesn't get the free roam of the global objectives that we've saw in the last 2 games.
It's the compositional pressure, right? Because Leyan, this is not how he loves to play his games. You know, as a jungler, much more focused on power clearing through optimizing his jungle pathing, securing scuttle crabs to set up for objectives later on. But no, because of the way his solo lanes work, he definitely feels that pressure, and it's unfortunate he hasn't really been able to find his mark. Hasn't even got flashes out of the lanes he's visited so far, but still it is the mindset that is absolutely correct for him and Rare Adam in this early game. Gold just about dead, even FoFo up 10 CS actually in mid lane very quietly. Bot lane for iBoy looking decent as well here. So Rare Adam are going to be content with how these early minutes have played out, even though they haven't been able to blow open the game and get kills or anything like that. Again, their kill pressure is going to really unlock once they get access to ultimates and once they can find, you know, fights around objectives. Because you look at Team WE, their team comp not necessarily the strongest at just going into the all-out 5 versus 5, but when it comes to turret diving, that could be an option against the level 5 Cube.
Yeah, Cube, not level 6 just yet, but also his ward just died just before this turret dive maybe coming in. Beishang just a little bit skeptical of it, doesn't really want to fully commit to it knowing the level 6 was coming in, but not only that, the tower not quite being aggro, but Leyan using this as an opportunity. It's his first time this series we are seeing Rare Adam get themselves that early Drake, get themselves that early objective, and that's what I want to be seeing from these guys. I want to see them get themselves on the map nice and early, get those early priorities.
Yeah, very nice to see this coming out from them. Mid lane, bot lane have the shove, so Drake going to be oh so easy, and it's also important you go for that objective before the 8-minute mark, before Herald is on the map, so that Beishang can easily cross map for it. Beishang waiting around the mid lane. They don't know where Leon is at the moment, but he's just going for it.
He's going for it. There's the Vanguard's edge. He's going to try and jump onto it. Shanks has to flash away. And
Whoa!
look at FoFo. FoFo feeling it. 1 kill. Maybe looking for another. Should be able to survive. The flash in with the moonfall. RA get 2 kills. And RA are not dead yet.
FoFo says no, no, no. He wants a game 4 here. An absolute hero move by him. The carry, the man to watch on Rare Adam. He makes it work and very nearly made it a 1v2. The TP's come in and Missing has the stun though.
Missing does have the stun, and he's going to get knocked down and maybe taken out. As I say that, FoFo turning this one around. He's dodging. No way. Oh my god. Okay, I got a bit excited.
Yeah, no. Missing was trying to donate the kill over by not auto-attacking to finish off FoFo, but that let FoFo press Q again, get the heal, and Syndra auto-attacks are laughable, to say the very least. So a bit of hope for FoFo to escape from that one, but I mean, look at this play. In all honesty, if he's able to get this kill onto Beishang with this Q and get that reset, he just straight up dive Shanks as well. Doesn't even need Leyan, but as it is, gets the triumph, and we're back in the top lane. Leyan is unrelenting.
Yeah, there's no flash on Breathe here either, so one more Sonic Wave will land, and that's going to be enough. Doesn't even need it. Just got himself the W, and this is the pace that we expected to see from the side of RA. This is what we want to see them when they pick these comps.
They are showing up here. As soon as the level 6s come through, bam, 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 top, mid, top again. We are here to fight. And it's all spearheaded by FoFo and Leyan. Very good stuff out of them. And now that Herald is on the map, Cube very smartly walks over, puts a ward on this one. I think Beishang was expecting Leyan to reset off the kill in the top lane, and that's exactly why he's going to be starting this one up. But already the bot lanes are on the move, and Team WE might not be able to take this one in time. Hong and crew are already into the mid lane, and this Herald is still up for the time being.
Yeah, it's still up, but I just feel like RA just a tiny bit behind on this play. So Hong just trying to play defensive, maybe seeing if he could bait out a little bit of something, or, you know, delay it a little bit longer to get the rest of his team back out. But still a good move for Team WE. They find themselves 1,000 gold behind. They should be able to use that Rift Herald to good use.
It's important noting the patience in that situation too from Rare Adam, because it could be that Cube could have stayed on the map. They forced that fight there with Leyan trying to run back towards the top lane, but they say no, we already have the advantage. We can give them the Herald off of a good timing from Beishang to go for that one. iBoy really needed the ultimate to disengage from Missing and Elk right there, but I mean, vision control in the river, absolutely flawless from Rare Adam. No way Beishang's going to be able to find a gank without clearing away a lot of those control wards yet, and that allows FoFo to play so aggressively. If he has control wards around him, I mean, Shanks is between towers. Like, he's not stepping forward at all. It is not fun to lane against FoFo's Irelia.
He's about a level behind as well, and you can see Leyan just going to be able to put himself down and say, look, we're going to keep going back to this mid lane. Moonfall down. There's the flawless duet, even with a great little stun there. Leyan may be trading back his life, though, as there are minions, and of course a jungler here for WE, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. But Shanks, he's almost 30 CS down right now, and he's losing out on so much XP.
And this 1v1 will become a massive issue later on. Not even just this 1v1. FoFo against virtually anyone. Think about how you play side lanes with a Syndra. You don't. you think how you play sidelines with a JAyce against a super fed Irelia? You don't. It does not work. And that is another element that Rare Atom have going for them, right? Is they have a very strong team fight. They have all the engaged tools in the world that they want. They have an early game advantage. And on top of that, their side lane threat absolutely trumps that of what Team WE can throw their way. So playing this ranged composition that wants to take fights a little bit more slowly, layer down your damage from a range, disengage, play back, kite away from your opponents, just doesn't work when you're getting pressured on multiple fronts, and that's exactly what Rare Atom are set up to do as we push further and further into this game.
And you look at the tools they have to just get on top of carries, the Lee Sin, the Diana, the Irelia, they just stick to you like glue. It's just incredible. And for WE, they've just got to stop the bleeding. They got to stem the bleeding just a little bit, because just right now, this Syndra priority that was being banned by Rare Atom so much. You see the flawless duet. Oh, he flashes away, but I don't think you can do anything about this. As I say that, though, FoFo will get himself out. He needed that one last minion to get himself out alive, but that's the power you have now with this Irelia. You are able to do so much kill pressure just instantly on the lane.
Yeah, and let's make no mistake. All the HP FoFo lost there, that was from the tower. That was not Shanks. Shanks landed like an ability. You know, FoFo is still definitely going to be pumping it out. If Cube takes the bait here, that could have been real bad, because Beishang inside the lane. I love this play going for the lane gank, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, look, it's a good concept, not quite great on the execution. Doesn't quite work out for him in the end.
FoFo, I mean, there's no one to stop him. As soon as Beishang shows in the top lane, it's like, oh, that's easy. Thanks for the tower plate. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Oh, seeing the bot side corrupting. Shade of Corruption came out, as well as the Glacial Fissure. Elk has got a decent amount of health on him, but not a lot of mana, so he's just going to rely on his auto attacks. It's forced the flash and the exhaust.
Not
but
again.
Shanks trying his best. Flash forward into the queue. Nothing you can do. FoFo is just dominating right now.
We might need to censor mid lane. I don't know. Shanks got burst underneath his tower, so he's like, okay, I'll reset. FoFo doesn't have ultimate, I'll be fine. Walks back to lane and just gets killed solo between his two towers. Hello?
It's Irelia things. Irelia things, my friend. That's all you can really say about it, as we now see. Yes, RA did lose their flash, heal, and ignite on bot side, but they are feeling fine to continue pushing into this one. Dragon was taken in the meantime, so it's a 2,500 gold lead. Not only that, but 2 dragons in the lead now for RA. This is the regular season RA. This is the RA that we highlighted coming into this series as a team that is good and prominent at getting themselves into situations where you just get suffocated out.
And this is not a composition where Team WE have a lot of good answers to come back in the game. This is bit of a mismatch, I think, when we head into the later stages. So already I'm kind of thinking like Team WE, let's get back to what worked for us in the first couple of games. And I mean, you look across the board, top lane's doing all right, you know, apart from the kill that Leyan helped set Cube up for to get. This tower is being taken down by Breed. That's what you expect from the matchup. But mid lane is just a gaping hole here. RA are blasting through.
They are trying to, but a TP on the back end of this. There's no way you know this, and here comes Breathe, trying to jump down onto the Leona. Will be able to pick himself up a very nice and early kill. Nicely done there by him. Just a great heads-up play from WE.
Very nicely done to be able to battle back there a little bit for Team WE and gain some pressure inside the bot lane, bot side jungle as well. Still though, Lee Sin gonna be batting down at the top lane, so a kill here doesn't immediately start to swing the game, but if you can convert that into a little bit more, that's the right idea. Do they know iBoy's here though? Missing checks it, but doesn't land the Q. Still though, 3v1.
Here we go. Glacial Fissure comes out, but double TPs here for RA. They're saying you cannot bully the boy, and that's going to be a kill straight over to Varus. Ends up being a solo kill. Elk, no mana, nowhere to go. He's almost certainly going to die. He tries to get himself over the wall. Cube will have a Q left on top of him. Will he hit it? Yes, he will. All that wriggling away for nothing. RA find themselves 2 and defend their bot side.
Very nicely done to battle back there for RA, and I mean, immediately the second Team WE try to take a little bit extra for themselves. It's TPs into the bot lane, and it's RA reminding them that RA are firmly in control of this game. All the tools to keep looking for these fights, and oh, Leyan, he sees a target, doesn't land the Moonlight, but is still going for it.
They can still go for this, but it's going to be a TP committed here from Shanks. But here comes Hong. He actually completely misses it, and that's going to be enough damage straight down Shanks. What are you going to do here, buddy? I don't think there's any answer yet, Beishang. You just got to say peace out. Sorry, buddy. Nothing I can do here. You got to leave. And RA are running through the gears right now, Ender. They are looking to speed run this game 3 and send us to a game 4.
Honestly, there is one piece of good news for Team WE. And that is that we are past the 15-minute mark, so it is now possible to type /FF in chat and get the hell out. This game sucks.
It's 70 CS difference, 2-1-2. Leyan is just absolutely insane on this pick, and this is the one we expected to see. This is the one the RA I expected to see coming into this series, and they are finally showing up. Sadly for WE, it just took him a little long. Now Cube might be in a little bit of trouble. He's got himself 2 people coming up on top of him. Pretty sure he's dead. He doesn't have a flash. We're gonna have the Heartbreaker coming out in 2, 1. There it is, and boom, butt clap. That's all you want.
Yeah, we got there in the end. A little bit of sustain made it dodgy for just a moment there, but I mean, Team W will continue to grab a little bit of hope, but yeah, this is
not
absurd. Leyan, same level as a solo laner, by the way. That's fine. Oh, he's actually a higher level. He's 2 levels higher than the enemy mid laner.
Yeah. Shanks went with this early Syndra priority, and it is not working. I'll be totally honest. And now we're gonna see RA go on to Soul Point. I know Cloud Soul gets memed a lot, but a Cloud Soul onto an Irelia, a Diana, and a Leona. Holy moly, that's a hell of a lot of cooldown reduction onto very important ultimates.
I mean, honestly, I think the best part about Cloud Soul, especially when you're playing heavy melee comps, is the bonus move speed. Melee champions have higher move speed than ranged champions, so they're getting more value out of the percentage increase there. And also, it's all about target access. That's all they need. Like, everyone on Rare Atom out-damage Team WE. They just need to be melee so they can hit them. And with a little bit extra movement speed, it becomes that much easier. Look at this. They're just inside the enemy jungle. They did walk over a ward, so probably won't lead to much of anything, as a blast cone or a vision cone will be hit by Breathe to rescout his topside jungle. But the towers are going to continue to fall, and Rare Atom have everything they need to continue the snowball.
Look at the CS differentials. 35 in jungle, 80 in mid lane, 10 or so in bot side. So you know what? Elk, good job. You kept yourself relevant. And so, of course, Breed doing well with 2-2 and 0 on this JAyce. You gotta hope that your poke is really coming into fruition in this mid game now if you're in WE. Rare Atom, though, doing enough, putting themselves into a good position. They will pop down the Solar Flare, won't get any purchase off of it, but they're just hunting, praying that someone from WE takes a one step too far forward.
I'm missing there for a second. I don't know, man. I don't know if Vision's worth your life. Yet again for Rare Atom to find for themselves. And you can see, like, on the bottom of your screen, Lee Sin is right now just taking away jungle camp, stealing away the Krugs. It's exactly how you want to play the game. Just continue to suffocate your opponents, make sure Viego can't farm, take it all out, because you have such a massive lead so early on. Like, playing for inner towers, very hard. Playing the mid game when there's no objectives up and there's nothing to, like, secure to fight over all this, pretty difficult. So turn it into mini objectives, play for those camps, but you have to be a little bit careful. Even then, I don't think they kill Cube fast enough. Like, Leyan can just run down here.
Oh, they don't land any of the CC either. There's the kickback. Cube does take a bit of damage back on top of that. The Viego's still very strong with the Divine Sunder, where the Heartbreaker comes in, but the heal from iBoy is enough to keep him alive. WE looked for a play. RA were too cute to it, and that is going to be another kill. We're looking at a 7,000 gold leader, just a little bit under it. And I'm looking at a Shanks who hasn't even gotten an item versus 2.5 items for FoFo. This game is all but done, Ender.
It's just painful, man. What are you gonna do? What was level 14? It's a 4-level lead in mid. And so if you can't even kill Cube in a side, like, Shanks doesn't have an item. FoFo nearly has 3. Put that in context. Like, Syndra could literally have 19 spheres on the ground, press R, and FoFo would take 12 damage. I don't know. Like, it's just completely imbalanced at this point.
Just feels so bad right now for WE, and coming off of such highs. We can have a look at the replay here, and Cube, he just dodges out very nicely, gets himself the sidestep so he doesn't get stunned, and that at that point, you just don't have the damage, like you said, to kill him before everyone else arrives.
The heal from iBoy just to make matters worse, because Beishang like had the damage to get the kill there.
Yeah.
Barring that heal coming through. Not a good feeling, to say the very least, and now we play the game. How risky are Rare Adam? Do they go for a 20-minute Baron? And honestly, I say go for it. Like, at this point,
I mean,
you can just turn into Team W and just kill them all.
I mean, that's exactly what they're going to go. There's the Moonfall straight down. They're going to try and pop them all off straight away. It's going to be a long, weird lull section in that part of that fight.
More of an Omega lull section, I think. But, yeah, to each their own.
You've been hanging out with LS too much. I got to get you off those co-streams.
Look, I like to hit every region, you know, LCS.
Yeah. You're a man of the people. You like to see you like to play your cards right. You want to be with the eventual winner. That's why you've come from LCK to LPL. We understand, man. We're going to be taking the World Championship. But in terms of that's a long way away. Going back into this game, we now got the Baron taken off. They're going on for 21 minutes. They're going to be able to secure it, take it, boom. And now they may look for the fight. The flash forward in the Xenoblade, not able to land there for Hong. And all right, they're not quite done just yet. They may keep looking for it. They are. They're going to jump straight onto Elk, who has got Flash, has got Cleanse. Leyan thinks the better of it, doesn't want to overcommit and give himself over on that juicy bounty and avenue for a WE in, but 21.5 minutes, I think this game is just about done for WE, barring a massive, massive mistake from the side of RA.
Yeah, or 2, 3.
Maybe 3.
4.
You know what?
Maybe more.
We'll tell you when to stop. All right.
Okay.
That's what.
Oh my! I mean, but like this is the type of game that you almost like. Team WE are up 2-0, right? One game, they move on. It's all over for Rare Adam. You know, wrap it up here for them in playoffs. But you just absolutely crush. Like, there is no chance for Team WE. All of a sudden, the momentum of winning the first 2 games completely backslides. Like, Rare Adam are feeling good. They have the Cloud Soul now. They can keep marching towards the base. They've got the Baron for 2 more minutes. We're 22 minutes in the game. They've still got a couple minutes left to work with. Missing's locked up underneath the tower, and that tower is gone.
Yeah, that is going to be the second to last outer turret, so 5 in total here for Rare Atom as they start to mark their campaign of Game 3 with an absolute bang. 22.5 minutes in, they've got themselves a 10,000 gold lead. They've got themselves a Cloud Soul. They still have Baron ticking up, and you can see right now, WE, they just can't do anything about it. There's nothing they can't do. As I say that, though, iBoy takes a huge chunk from that accelerated shock blast, so need to still respect the damage that can come out from Breathe, and especially from the poke from Elk as well.
I mean, Team WE figure out some way to kill Leyan. He's just going to kill you!
He's going to go in, goes into Zhonya's missing, will eventually fall. That's the support down, and the mid laner, and the jungle. Hell, they're all dead, Ender. It's a clean ace, and RA will not be dispatched. They will do what no one else in the playoffs has done before, and they will take a game victory over Team WE. It's only 1 game, but they are on the path to getting themselves back into the series.
It's only 1 game, but it felt like that was Worlds. I don't, like, they just won everything. It was a complete smash for Rare Adam. And at the end of that game, FoFo was level 16, Shanks was level 11. I don't know, in my entire career, I don't think I have ever seen a mid lane EXP difference of 5 levels. That was one of the most disgusting performances I have ever seen. FoFo absolutely smurfed on Team WE there.
He really, really did, and FoFo, he seemed mad, you know, he genuinely seemed like, oh, I'm winning this. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. I'm coming in and I am taking this game. And I gotta give props to pretty much everyone across the board on Rare Adam. They all stepped up. They all did their part. They all got themselves their own advantages. And the fact that, the Diana jungle works so well is just a huge boon for them now coming into this meta, or coming into this matchup, excuse me, and getting that mini meta working in their favor.
You know, after game 2, I was like, ooh, FoFo's Azir. That was really nice, you know. He had push in his lane, he had control over side lanes. That was great. No, I don't want to see that ever again. Put FoFo on kill champions. I want him going hard in mid lane because when he was set up to succeed, he absolutely crushed. And at the same time, Leyan's influence over the early game. He decided, forget farming, I'm going to gank and gank and gank, and it worked absolute wonders for Rare Adam. They were a completely different team, and now they have to repeat that 2 more games in a row.
Yep, they got to do it a couple more times. But for WE, I feel like you just write this one off. You look at the draft and say, right, we got to figure out certain ways of doing this better, but there's no real benefit to looking at like, oh, how Shanks could have done better, because once again, it was just a straight up difference in mid lane. Shanks got absolutely blasted out of there, and there was not a lot he could do. There was not a lot he could do after that point. So I think for the next game, WE won't feeling too disheartened. They just got to come back and play like they did in game 1 and in game 2. And I'm going to say, honestly, I don't mind the JAyce pickup for them. Obviously, they picked it thinking maybe it was going to go into the Irelia, but I do like them more when I see Breathe on teamfight-orientated champions. Teams that can affect the big 5v5s, because that's how they were making their advantages in game 1 and 2 versus RA.
Yeah, the Team W were not playing like a traditional, like easy-to-execute 5v5 composition. This one was hard, and they never even made it to the team fights. You know, the draft was bad, the game was worse. You guessed it right, G2 wrong one.
Yeah.
No, Team WE though, yeah, let's go back to basics. Game 1, game 2, I love those drafts. Let's keep that rolling.
Let's keep it rolling, and we'll see now if WE can stop the